Welcome to another We Are Funded Trading Plus podcast. Today I have myself, Michael, and Jamie.
Who is the best under pressure?
Yeah, I'd go with Jamie, I think.
I think you, Simon. So I think you've got this really uncanny ability to really kind of compartmentalize things, deal with stresses as they come in. And we've been under, all three of us. And if James was here again, I'd say all four of us have dealt with some really significant stresses and pressure. And I think, whilst I thrive under pressure and I enjoy working under pressure, and that's a key part of why this industry is so appealing, 'cause it's so fast-paced and there's so much going on. But I don't think I'd be able to do it if you was a kind of counterpoint, because you're fairly laid back.
Yeah.
You're quite chill. So I operate well under pressure because I've got you as a counterpoint, if you like, to sort of help calm me when things are pressurized.
Yeah.
So
I'm agreeing with you here. I mean, I think one of the skills of being a trader is being able to take pressure, and then just being able to just drop away from it. That's a key trading skill, and you used to demonstrate it day after day after day in our live trading. And I see it in you when in some of your negotiations, and you sometimes you get some harsh stuff come at us as well, and stuff, and you deal with stuff so well and so gently. I think, is that the Simon I know? Because you sort of almost change into
The degree of finesse that comes out now and again.
Yes, it does. I mean, I put Jamie up there because it's his job to deal with pressure. But yeah, I think that actually all of us do it really pretty well.
yeah,
And as traders out there, you're used to doing that high pressure, high energy, but you got to be able to step back from it, relax, and move on all the time. And that's what I think you're good at.
Yeah, I think there's been
and I get that
occasions.
from you as well.
I think there's been occasions where it's a case of like everything needs to go wrong in order for whatever to fail, and it's because you always focus on the negatives, don't you? And it's a case of, well, and you can map out a route to failure in your mind. I'm like, well, so many things have to go on, only one thing has to go right in order to stop this momentum, or whatever it might be. Just a generic example. So I've only got so much energy and concentration. I'm going to try and put it into the stuff that actually might make a difference, fixing it rather than. I think I've just got faith in as a group. It's like, well, we've got plenty of money without showing off, so it's like, well, if this fails, we'll figure something else out.
Yeah.
I think part of it is I mean, thank you, Michael, for putting yours and Simon. I think for me, I really enjoy working under pressure. But like I say, it's nice to have people around you who can also, dig in when it's really necessary.
It's made us better as a group. I don't think there's many things we won't be able to face, unless it's completely ridiculous and out of our control.
I mean, we go back to our very early days, and I don't know, in something like about week 6 or so, there was a real technical issue, and there was just the three of us, right? But between the three of us, well, it was 4 or 5 of us then. That I think we contacted every single customer directly.
We stayed in 24 hours, didn't we?
Yeah, we rang our customers. We and
We did. We literally were ringing people across the world, say, look, we're going to sort it, don't worry.
Yeah. And that's what took our. We didn't realise that at the time, but what that did to our business was all of those people who were new adopters of us became massively our champions out there in the market, and we were able to grow because of that. We didn't know that us doing that at the time, dealing with the problem we had, was going to result in what it resulted in. But yeah, that's dealing with high pressure stuff, and not many businesses do that well.
Well, because it's focusing on the right things. If you're under pressure, it's easy to not be able to see what is the most important thing right now. And something which Funded Trading Plus has always recognised is the customer is the most important thing. So you've dealt with that pressure there. The early days prior to me joining the team, it's our commitment to the customer is number one. And like Simon says, staying up 24 hours in the day to make sure every customer is contacted, it just underlines that commitment. And it's something that I think even now, like in year 3 of operating, is like that is as true as to day one.
It is. It's still the ethos. It that's what stands behind everything that we try to do.
100%.
Is the biggest supporter of our company culture?
Do you think me? Oh, okay. Probably Jamie, I would have thought.
So
Do the positive aspects of the culture.
but I think you're the face of us, and you're the one who is articulating that vision, the culture in the team to the world. Essentially, we operate together in a fairly, we're a fairly small team. The business is fairly small, around 30 people worldwide, but in terms of who are people looking to when they're thinking of Funded Trading Plus, they're not thinking of the chief strategy officer. They're
thinking of Simon.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's what I think.
Yeah. And exactly why I put Simon up as well.
Yeah, it's not massively complicated for me, as it never has been. Like if you work for us internally, it's work hard and have a good attitude. And if it's the customer or people purchasing from us, take care of them and bend over backwards from them. I think if you can, everything else really derives from those two things. And we've always said that. And we've always said, and writing it on a document will bend over backwards for customers when we started scaling up and getting staff. And then anyone who's lucky enough to work for us is just told, just work hard and have a good attitude, and the rest will take care of itself.
We don't have enough paddles because really the everyone plays their part. And I think when I think about who is the one day to day who is really kind of put the culture into practice, as exactly what we're saying with customers and bending over backwards for the team, our operations department, absolutely on a day-to-day basis are doing all that they can for people that are trading with us. And I think it would be we'd need 10 paddles.
We need a lot of paddles
for the ops team who really are kind of bringing that to life every day in how they help people,
even when they're dealing with challenging individuals.
Yeah, I mean, there's challenges in every business, aren't there? But yeah, I think for me, Simon, as the kind of the public face of Funded Trading Plus, you're bringing that to life every day. But that would all be for nothing if we didn't have a great team of people who were within the company really committed to making Funded Trading Plus what it is today.
Most likely cracking jokes in a serious meeting.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. I mean, I think that's clearly the case.
It's been serious. It's hard work.
Yeah,
it is. But the thing is, when you do sometimes need it. Sometimes I could, like, if we're together, I could reach over the table and throttle you if
too fast.
If we're working apart and we're remote, I could just wish I could reach through the screen.
Bad. Yeah. Well, I like it when it doesn't really work culturally. Like when we're working with American partners, and I'll do some really dry British humour, and they'll think I'm being literal. I can't think of an example, but
yeah, that's it. I think recognising that your humour's quite unique and perhaps not well received around the world would probably be some feedback that you'd want to take on.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, definitely, Simon.
Yeah, no, I'll concede that one definitely.
Who is most likely to trade based on a gut feeling?
Yeah, I always sort of push like intuitive trading, which you could dress up as like subconscious pattern recognition, but it's really because I was just lazy and wanted to get in the market. I was like, oh, it looks like it's topping out here. I'll trade, but yeah, I think when you are a scalper like I was, the short term trading is more likely to get you into that sort of gut feeling. Now it depends how deep you want to go with gut feeling. Is it just sort of subconscious pattern recognition that your brain's telling you something's going to occur, most likely to occur, so you act upon it? I don't know enough about the psychology of it, but that was always my belief, really. But it's not to be confused with like, oh, I'm itching to trade and getting sucked into over trading. I need to be in the market. That's a very fine line between those two.
It's a fine line, and the interesting thing about that is that there's been many studies done on trading where sometimes it doesn't actually matter what direction you go in. It's then how you go about your trading at that point, whether you can take a loss at the right time, whether you can scale in more, scale out, and the operations that you take. And somebody that can work that system well can can nearly always end up at the end of a week or end of a month, end of a year at a better rate without actually ever really knowing that they were doing anything but just intuitively going in a single direction.
Well, I think really your trading style, Michael, and Simon's, they're almost like the conceptual opposite, aren't they? In sort of how you'd approach it. Would you say that you?
No, I would say they were synergistic. They were different.
Okay.
But they were complementary, because we could work each other's systems in just slightly different timescales.
Yeah, no, that's interesting, because obviously you had the live trade room all those years ago running for so long. I was wondering how you kind of complemented one another with those, and whether Simon's kind of fast-paced scalping work with your kind of more positional sort of...
Yeah, I mean, so my favourite trade was really a 15-minute breakout on the open of the main index markets.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple system. But you could do that and then hit those same key highs and key lows that Simon would be hitting in a scalping way, on top of those slightly more, let's see how the day run trades that I would be taking.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's interesting to me as a non-trader, just like how there's so much variety in the market. And obviously with Funded Trading Plus, we've got programs and we've got parameters that support all sorts of styles, really,
Exactly.
don't they? So
Who is most likely to forget their password?
100%. I think
so you're getting a beating. Like, we've had to create entire systems so that Simon doesn't have to remember passwords. Like, you know, the way that we've kind of set up with our different software to mean that Simon doesn't have to remember a password, and even paying so much for a technological solution can't get Simon to
Yeah.
I just want to say, please do not put in Simon123 as a password. It won't work.
It's close to my pin. No, I think if there were a paid job to test password reset buttons across the internet, I would be retired by now on my yacht. Yeah, I do that just to make sure it's working. Yeah. It's the worst ones are the ones where it auto-completes it for you and it gives you just a string of them.
GZ exclamation.
Yeah, exactly, just nonsense, which is really secure, but I just can't remember, because I do all the banking across all our groups, because people out there don't know we've got multiple companies and big group structure, and I won't bore you with details, but they all have their own bank accounts and I have to manage all those. I've got all different card readers and cards, and this is the worst first world problem ever, apart from another one I'm not going to describe, where I had to choose, I had to have two cars because I wanted them both. Yeah, so I'm the most likely in conclusion to bring it back down.
And we trust you with all the cards for all the banks.
Very sensible. Very sensible. And that's it from us, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of We Are Funded Trading Plus.